Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull has personally seized on positive employment numbers for November to claim vindication of his much-criticised 2016 election slogan Jobs and Growth, and to warn of a disaster if Labour wins the Bullock by-election on Saturday, taking Bill Shorten one seat closer to becoming Prime Minister. The warning came as the race for Bullock nears its final full day of campaigning, with the outcome determining if the coalition retains its one-seat absolute majority in the Parliament. In a sign of the government's desperation, Mr Turnbull directed some of his strongest criticism directly at Labour's star candidate in the seat, Christina Keeler, who if successful would likely sit in Parliament as a mere opposition backbencher. She is an enormous threat, a huge risk to jobs, to growth, to the security and prosperity that all Australians deserve, and that my government is delivering, he said. Breaking with the usual practice of leaving the official government comment on Labour trends to his employment minister or even to the Treasurer, Mr Turnbull said the strong jobs growth last month was a direct result of an improving economy under the coalition's suite of economic policies. The Australian economy is creating more than 1,000 jobs a day, think about that, he said in Sydney. Now at the last election, you'll all remember, we campaigned on jobs and growth. Well, it was a slogan then, but it is an outcome now. Our policies are restoring confidence to business, and business is responding by investing, creating more jobs, and hiring more workers. The unemployment rate for the month contributed to an annualized rate of unemployment of 5.4%, with some 61,600 jobs created in November, of which 41,900 were full-time positions. At 5.4%, Australia's jobless rate is low by international standards and sits less than half a percentage point above what the Reserve Bank categorises as functionally full employment. The 14-month run of jobs growth is the strongest and longest labour market expansion since 1994. But while employers are hiring, the tightening labour market is having surprisingly little effect on wages, with growth in pay packets still sluggish or non-existent. Mr Turnbull said the figures showed that the 383,000 had been created in the last 12 months, of which 304,600 were full-time positions. 61,600 jobs have been created in the last month alone, that's 2,000 a day, and 918,700 jobs, close to 1 million, have been created since the coalition government was elected in 2013, he said. Both the rate of jobs growth and the number of jobs created is more than 4 times the rate we inherited from Labour, he said. Despite a Fairfax Reach-Tell poll showing it was comfortably in front, Mr Turnbull's intervention suggests the Bullock race remains tight. While the government is preparing to unveil more economic good news on Monday in its mid-year economic and fiscal outlook report, expected to contain positive revenue projections and to confirm the budget's 2020-21 surplus timetable, the high-octane high-politics presentation of the jobs data suggests it wants the credit from voters, in Bullock at least, well before then.